Music's a little wacky for me, but it's the channel, so it's like the only channel I can listen to, or that I've found through very little research, that is royalty free. So YouTube doesn't shut me off. I was streaming one day last week, I want to say, or earlier this week, I can't remember. And just out of nowhere, YouTube like cut my stream off because I was apparently listening to something that had copyright protections and stuff like that. So we're rocking with liquid drum and bass radio. We're about to embark on a side quest, by the way. I gotta turn this down a little bit. Let me set this up real quick. All right, so I have this like mental model in my head, and I don't know whether it should be like a web app, probably not, or like a harness for this whole thing, or like I see everyone diving into like Hermes agents and stuff like that. And those are like it's like the Wild West. It can obviously do more than what Claude Code can. But I'm thinking specifically for this app, which all things considered is basically just an Agentic starter kit for SaaS apps, right? For anyone wanting to build with SaaS, or wanting to build SaaS with agents or whatever. And so I'm thinking, like, instead of using an IDE like Hardhead Hackerhead, hey yo, H4, thank you, bro. Bro is faithful. Thank you, dog. Bro, you gotta start streaming again. Or have you started streaming again? I want to say you said you were, but then you took a break for a while. But thank you, bro. It means heaps to me, dog. All right. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, obviously this is the stack. This is a very opinionated stack, right? What would it look like if instead of making people who use this repository, maybe you will, maybe you won't, not sure yet. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? If it feels like work, if it feels like begrudging, I say do something that makes you not feel good, because like business and work and growth is not easy, right? I mean, it's not supposed to be easy, or else everyone would do it. But everyone's like, there's the two camps, right? It's like the one side where it's like, oh, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But then the other side is like, dude, something along the way is going to be hard. So it's like choosing what is hard for you. And if the thing that requires the mundanity is difficult, maybe that's the thing you should skip on. You know? This is what I'm coming to, at least. Like, obviously you can grow and get better at stuff and it'll become easier over time, but it's like if you don't enjoy it, if it's not like something you enjoy doing, maybe find something adjacent or similar or that has equal impact. I don't know. Anyways, so let me open Excalidraw real quick. We have this system, right? Of all of our apps. I'm gonna change this to launch Soku. Happy Fable Day to those who celebrate. That's a W comment. Dude, I ran a train on it earlier right before I went to the gym. And for a moderately complex, as far as like, if it's not a complex app, it's actually a pretty simple app, but the chain of data of the thing that I was working on used to be pretty difficult to like prompt and get it to do what I want it to do. And I started two Fable agents in parallel. I say agents, I just asked it to do two things in parallel. And I left, and then I opened my phone and it like had two PRs and they were all green. And I merged and I looked in production and it was all working the way I wanted it to. And it was actually pretty complex. I'm not going to go into it because, frankly, it's not a boring app. It's just like, it's not like, it doesn't have a wow factor. It's just like, oh yeah, that's sick, dude. That saves people a lot of time. Anyways, for the homies in the chat, what do y'all think about like the Hermes agents? What's your thoughts on those versus like in the terminal prompting, whatever? Maybe while y'all are typing your answers, or maybe I'm just gonna be talking to myself, which is totally cool. Because honestly, I routinely talk to myself out loud by myself, which is one of the reasons I think that I like streaming. Because it's like, even if there's a total of 0 people in chat, I'm yapping to myself anyways. So it's like, might as well turn on the camera and meet some homies along the way. You've heard that they're really good, but I never tried myself. Yeah. So I'm thinking for like, this is my thought process. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud here. I'm spitballing. So obviously this is what I'm building is like a boilerplate application for production level SaaS, right? So anyone who has an idea can go from 0 to 11 labs, let's just say 0 to 11 labs level architecture overnight. The one like hiccup or the one snag is that it would take a lot of time to clone this repo, like in the traditional sense, fill out all the API keys, open all the accounts, fill in all of the environment variables, make all the initial deployments, all that stuff. So what if I pause on development of What if I pause on the as far as like where it is right now on the development of the actual, wait, this isn't, is this right? There's something missing in here, by the way, but whatever. Focus. What if I pause on the development of the actual boilerplate and make it to where maybe, I don't know about this part yet. Maybe it's even an on-device app, right? Similar to like the Hermes agent or something, to where under the hood there's this repository, right? And then you can spin up new terminals within, this is what I'm thinking. Let me try and draw this. So we'll have like, let's just say this is under the hood, right? And we'll have something on top of it, like an application, like a native application on Mac built with Tari or whatever it's called. And in here, you'll have like a side panel similar to ChatGPT or any of these other tools. And you'll have like your line items in here where, I don't know, right here would be a plus button, just what I'm thinking. A plus button. Maybe right here you'll have your projects. And then when you click on one of these, let's just say it's highlighted, and then down here would be like, change the color back to black. Down here would be like branches, I guess, maybe. Oh, it's branches or wait, let me think about this. Maybe it's just projects over here. Maybe it's just projects. And these go away. Whoa. These go away. Again, this is under the hood. So let's do like a, can I make the opacity of this like less? I don't know how to make the opacity less, but whatever. And then, so this project would be loaded, and then there would be, I don't really know how Hermes agent works, but I'm thinking like you could have, Tali, you actually turned me on this idea with the work trees. And obviously, you know, Codex has them and ChatGPT or Claude has them. But what I'm thinking is instead of starting from scratch on these projects and then importing those projects into ChatGPT or whatever, maybe the IDE or whatever it's called. Okay, let me finish my sentences. All right, so we have projects, and when we click on the project, different panes open in here, right? So like, you know, different terminals. I wish I could do this better. Can I make this fill? What's the background like this? Sure. Can I do whatever? Anyways, different terminals under the hood, right? And each one of these terminals is a new work tree. For this project. New work tree. New work tree. And so basically you can work on apps in parallel or work on features in parallel. But then maybe each one of these has its own environment. And so this work tree will be coded under the hood to work on the front end, let's just say local host 3000, and the back end localhost 8,000. Whoa, 8,000. And like no configuration needed. And then this one would work on, this one will work on, 3001, 8001. Obviously there's more environments than just front end and back end. Like there's Stripe, Authentic, what do we have in here? The API. So we have MCP, marketing website, whatever, docs, whatever, workers, whatever. Obviously the web, MCP, and the API. But what if that's how I work for like the past 6 months? So what do you use to do that? Do you use VS Code to do this? Maybe down here you could see 2. Maybe down here you could see recent work trees or something like that. The CLI. Yeah, so this would be specifically tailored, again, around this repository, around this boilerplate app. It's a really good starting point from scratch. So if anyone, like there was a guy in here the other day, which I want to pander to people who lack focus. Like I think you should have one good app idea and market the tits out of it. But at the same time, for people who do have a lot of ideas, this might be helpful. And so like, let's just say this one has this, and then there's, let's just say it's separated like that, kind of bigger. And then over here, like next to it, you'll have, can we make this a little lighter? You'll have like your, I guess, in-app web browser kind of thing. Web browser, maybe like a local postman to like test your API, whatever. And this will be, V2 or the second one. I'm gonna make this color and this color. And then make another one here. Web browser, postman, and this guy, right? So like these two are connected and these two are connected, kind of thing. But in here, the only thing that you would have to do, that's essentially how the BridgeMind use. I don't know. I've actually never downloaded BridgeMind. I actually don't even know what it is. I know it's like you can spawn like 15 terminals and like launch 75 agents in parallel to go do infinite security reviews. Because I feel like every time I pull one of his streams up, like if it shows up on my YouTube, he's like chatting with one of the terminals and he's like, launch 15 agents to do an in-depth security review of Bridge Voice or whatever it's called. I'm like, dude, you can only do so many. I feel like you can only do so many security reviews. It's either secure or it's not. Anyways, all that aside, what I'm thinking for this specifically is all of these apps that people are building, you still have to start from zero. Like BridgeMind, whatever, you have to start from zero, right? Start an app that does XYZ, and then it builds from the ground up. This would be different, but what is the thing that would set this one apart is obviously it's very opinionated, but it's all of this, kind of like what this shows right here. It's like all of this under the hood, And when you do, you click this and it's a new project, and it opens up like a big panel. Oh shoot. It opens like a big panel like this. Over it, let's just say, make it green. Yay. What? Oh, that's the outline. Make it green. And it's like, why is it green? And it's like, it has fields in here, Vercel, like log into Vercel, Cloudflare. Why are these black? Cloudflare, PostHog, Sentry. Whoa, Sentry. What else? Dude, can you focus real quick? What else is in here? Neon Postgres, right? And so all you would do to have to get going on a brand new project, Railway is very important actually, so I'm not gonna leave that one out. Railway. All you have to do is enter in, well, even just like click these buttons. I'm thinking like click this button and somehow it leads to Vercel, gathers the information, puts it back in this project, puts it back in the environment variables, like asks you questions about whatever. Obviously you're gonna have to interact with Vercel's API. Excuse me, Jesus. Yeah, you're gonna have to interact with Vercel's API and Cloudflare's API and all that stuff. But basically how, so like in Railway, right? In Railway, you have your deployments or your what's it called? Environments. We'll go to dev or stage. You'll have your environments, and then in here in settings, you have like your custom domain. And so not only would it set up this environment, not only would it set up this service, but it would also set up the local the domain for you, like on the push of a button. Obviously, it would do it sequentially in order of importance and sequencing, because that would be important, like to create the correct ones first. But I'm thinking about lowering the level of friction to creating a brand new app, because like right now, if I was going to give this to any of the homies, and the homies were like not very technical, it would take a while to get this up and running. And so why not for the next couple days or weeks work on features of the app, right? Because I already have this stuff in there. Also, there's something not in there right now because I worked on stuff the other day that's not in here yet, but whatever. That's aside. I don't know, chat. What do you think about that? Hello, good luck. Looked at your app site. Nice. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, Passion. I appreciate it. I remember you popping in here the other day. Welcome back. Let me see what Hermes agent is. And see like Hermes desktop. Same one. Is it this? Okay, Hermes agent desktop. Let's just read the first level and see what it does. Sticky Menu for mobile look. Looks like maybe sticky menu for mobile look. Not sure what you mean by that. Are you saying this, like the landing page, the mobile doesn't look good? Is that what you're saying? Sticky menu? Oh, you're saying make this sticky? Oh, I see. You're probably saying make this sticky to where when you scroll, it scrolls with you. That's probably what you're saying, to be honest. Yeah, so let's read through this real quick. I looked at your web as it vertically height. Yeah, you're probably saying to make the menu sticky to where when you scroll it stays in view, which isn't a bad idea. All right. Isolated sandboxing. 5 backends, local Docker, SSH singularity modal with container hardening and namespace isolation. It's a lot of big words. It's a lot of big words for a simple, goofy guy. 5 backends. I don't know what that means. What do you mean backends? A local backend, a Docker-based backend, an SSH-based backend, singularity-based backend, modal backend. Like what? With container hardening and namespace isolation. It's a lot of big words for a simple, goofy guy, dude. All right, web search, browser automation, vision, image generation, text-to-speech, multimodal reasoning. Plan, billing, and credit details are managed by NOS Research. We link the portal so you can review the current tiers account settings. So, okay, I don't care about that. That's not part of what you're offering. That's just your pitch. Where should I download? Linux point to start guide. What is Hermes AI? Community of project focus. Hermes AI is a community project focused on multilingual documentation and help. Yeah, passion. Not a bad idea. I'll add that in there. Where do I get the images? I create all of them myself. Yeah. Like I found like the stars. So the dots back here are like their own PNG. The lines are their own PNG, but then the color is CSS. This is its own, like this background's its own PNG. I created this. Obviously, that looks very AI created. I use AI to create these. This is just an SVG, I think. This is just like a Gaussian background. You can't really see it, but it's just a background. Same thing with these stars. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want it to be... I don't know if I want it to be like a whole product. If I did want to monetize this, It would make the barrier to entry more appealing, and the likelihood of duplication pretty lower, not low. Oh, obviously in here too. In this Excalidraw, this would be GitHub. Because, like, my wheels are spinning right now. Let me ask this little cutie in here. So as this project is a production level SaaS boilerplate application where anyone can git clone this, pull it down locally, rename values to make them their own. Instead of launch Soku, they could call it whatever they want. Enter their own API keys for all their services, et cetera, et cetera. What would it look like if we semi-automated the duplication process for when potential users were to use this repository, instead of doing git clone and then going and changing all the values manually and then adding in all the environment variables? What if we created a harness around this? I hate the word harness, but what if we created a harness around this to where maybe it's its own native application, even perhaps, that lives on your desktop, that has, for instance, at its very bare minimum, a plus button that says new project, and when you push the plus button, it clones the repo into their local file system, but then leads them through a step-by-step process in a UI that prompts them to connect their different services that are offered within this app, such as Vercel, Cloudflare, PostHog, Sentry, Neon Postgres, Railway, GitHub, et cetera, and leads them through like an onboarding process that is very low friction. All they have to do is connect their platform, and the API keys and environment variables get populated automatically based on user actions, so that they can spin up new instances of new projects in 15 minutes instead of 4 hours. If that wasn't recording the whole time, I was about to say, dude, it took just a little longer than I thought it was going to. Okay, let's skin that off. My Soku also looks very good. Hey, I appreciate it, dog. Thank you, bro. That's what I'm building on top of all of this after I'm done with this. But I'm on a side quest right now with the release of Fable. Also, I have an insane idea that I really want to do like a 24-hour hackathon on and spend as much money as necessary. There's only 5 people in here, so if I say it, I think this idea would pop off, especially with the release of Fable. If I got some traction on Twitter, maybe if I posted some reels on Instagram or TikTok. don't even know if I should say it on here. But there's only 4 people. Give me a break. No, what if I did what if I did a multiplayer, like vibe coded multiplayer Mario Kart clone, but like users could actually play against each other in real time. Obviously it would have to be built well on good running engines and stuff like that, but called it Dario Kart. And all the characters, instead of like Bowser, Luigi, Mario, etc., it's all the top dogs in like the AI and computing space. So like Elon, Jensen Huang, whatever his name is, obviously Dario, Sam Altman. Bro, how funny I bet that would crank on social media, especially if it was done well, and especially if it was a real life working clone and people could like log in and play. I would get so much traffic. Dario Kart, dog. I genuinely want to call in sick to work tomorrow and like do only this for the next 48 hours. The bad thing is I don't know anything about game development, and I don't think it would work well if it was a web app. But it might. Like if I could figure out, I mean, I don't know anything about this, to be honest. But if you could do like touch left and right, or double touch to jump, or double tap to jump, but then that would zoom in. I'm just thinking, like, how would this work on a web app? I'd watch you do it. Bro, how hilarious would, I don't know. Maybe it's just because like Mario Dario, and then like using Fable to do it. Obviously I would use Fable because it's like the buzzword right now. I built Dario Kart, the live multiplayer Mario Kart clone using Fable. What would be actually sick, how could I do this? I took 2 weeks off to build a game, so there's a bunch of tools to do this stuff. But it's hard, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never built a game. It's always been like web apps. Not to say I couldn't do it, because like anything's possible now. With the right time horizons, obviously. But what would be cool, I wonder how it could work if another hype would be if I used Opus. I used Codex 5.5 to code various aspects. And like you could choose your team. You could choose Opus, or you could choose Anthropic, or you could choose Codex based on whoever you think has the better models or whatever, with like the different experiences and stuff. But then the multiplayer game, you're all playing in the same environment. That would be tough. I actually had that idea about 7 minutes before stream when I was taking a shower. I was laughing to myself in the shower because I was thinking like, oh, okay, what would be a cool thing to build with Fable that's like clickbaity. Sounds like the idea I used to get when I smoked a little of the devil's lettuce. You're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. I wish I was high. That would make much more sense then. What's the delivery vehicle for the bootstrapper? I think native desktop app. CLI local plus local web UI. No, I think it's going to be a native desktop app. So fun that we can actually work on stuff like that now. Yeah, for sure. 5 years ago, I couldn't even, 5 years ago, I was like not even close to being able to do something like that. I wish I would have had the idea. It's only been 12 hours or less since it's dropped, so it's like it's not too late. I could still totally do that. How should users connect to each service? The auth model. This decides whether you run the server infrastructure. Provider CLIs, guided paste. First party OAuth everywhere. Register Soku OAuth app with each provider and run a hosted token broker. Smoothest one-click UX, but you now have to operate the backend that touches users' cloud credentials, real security liability. Yikes. Per provider app review processes, and several providers don't offer third-party OAuth at all. Guided paste a key only. No all auth, no CLI. No, I think I want to do first-party OAuth because I'm thinking of it like this. If I were to add another service in here. Hello. I don't want to do that, but settings. I wish I could show you, but I already did it. Oh, custom domain, and then I'd add one in here, whatever it is. This is actually an intelligent one, so it knows who the registrar. I think it's called registrar. Who the registrar is. So if I were to type one in that was like purchased and registered with GoDaddy, it would go straight to GoDaddy. Or if it was Cloudflare, I click add domain, it would go directly to Cloudflare. But yeah, so I think CLIs would be the move. How deep does V1 go? Connect and running locally and deployed to prod. Wait, how deep does V1 go? Connected and running locally and deployed to prod are very different scopes. V1, I want it deployed everywhere. Full clone to production, V1. That's what I want. I want it to be full clone to production, V1. V1 includes creating the GitHub repo for sub-projects, weapon marketing, railway services, API, MCP. Pushes all env vars to GitHub Actions, secrets, first deploy, complete dream, but roughly doubles the surface. 3 more provider integrations. CI, secret management, deploy verification, and the failure modes. That's what I want. Local first sounds enticing, but I want the full thing. Where does this bootstrapper live, and how does the boilerplate support it? How does a boilerplate support it? In mono repo plus manifest. Bootstrapper lives in this repo. No. Separate standalone repo product. Yeah, no, you're absolutely crazy bonkers for suggesting this. Bootstrapper is its own repo and product, treating launch Soku as just one template it can consume. More flexible long-term, multiple templates, possibly hint hint, but the wizard and boilerplates env schemas can drift apart, and you maintain 2 repos. Yeah, it's fine. GitHub template repo plus script. Lean on GitHubs. Use this template for clean history cloning. No, separate standalone repo product. Submit answers. Yo, what up, T? What's good, dog? I remember you popping in here the other day, only because your name is, like your screen name is, I'm calling you T. Do you think they will gatekeep Fable 5 out of the subscription forever. This is just a marketing trick for now. I mean, for someone who is paying $200 for a max plan, not getting Fable 5 is absurd. I think you do get it. You do get Fable 5 in the CLI. In here. That's what I'm running right now. So if you go, you have to do Claude update, obviously. Claude update. I already did it, so I'm not going to do it again. But you do Claude and then model. You gotta be kidding me. And then Fable's down here. Obviously default is 4.8, but you can select Fable. I'm not special. I only have the $100 plan actually. So if you pay for the 200, you definitely have it. As far if you're talking about in Claude Code, I don't know. Claude Desktop. I hardly ever even use this, so I wouldn't know, to be honest. T, it's fine. Oh, T calling you T. I was like, what are you talking about, dog? Buddy's trying to get cute over here. I thought you were talking about the Fable thing. Yeah, you're T to me now. Oh, well, now it's out. Maybe they're rolling it out slowly because I didn't see this earlier. Yeah, but they said they will remove it from subscriptions after like 2 or 3 weeks or something. Oh, really? What are they gonna move it to? Our newest model tackling the biggest challenge included until Jan 22. Fable takes 2x the usage of Opus. Yeah, sure, why not? So what plan is it going to be available on after upgrade plan? Are they saying it's only going to be on Team and Enterprise? Oh, only the API. That would suck big old donkey dick. That would blow a massive chode, dude. No one's using that in the API because it's going to be so expensive. I mean, I say no one. No indie hacker. But they're not pandering to indie hackers. They're trying to get US government contracts. They're not building these tools for us, boys. I hope you know that. We're just the users that get them to their next funding round. They're trying to help. Well, I was gonna say help Elon get to the moon or to Mars, but he's got his own thing doing that. All right, full clone to prod. Which environment should the bootstrappers provision? The cloned repos CI workflows assume a staging tier exists. Staging YAML deploys. Yeah, so staging and production recommended for sure. For sure ski. What does V1 of the desktop app include beyond the new project wizard? Your mockup showed a project list with running stop states. Ooh. Wait, how does it see that? I didn't screenshot anything, did I? Wait, what? Did I screenshot something? I'm using Fable now. I used it earlier on a moderately complex task and it finished it no problem. But I can't speak to its like full functionality, I guess. Wizard. Sorry, what does V1 of the desktop app include beyond the new project wizard? Your mockup showed a project list with running stop states. I don't remember saying any of that, but V1 equals the plus project wizard end to end. Usage is through the roof. So before I could use Opus 4.8 pretty much all 4 hours, code a bunch of different features. And not even be close to my limits. But after using Fable, I got to like 94% usage within an hour. So it definitely consumes more. What does V1 of the desktop app include beyond the new project wizard? V1 plus project. Also manage P and PM dev per project. Yeah, that's what I wanted. How do users get the boilerplate code? This determines how the app's clone step works. Private repo plus GitHub access, license key, release tarball. I'm currently using Opus 4.8 extra high and planned for planning and high for building. It's working pretty well. Yeah, I would agree. I like using Ultra Code, but it is very slow. So it does really well, but it's really slow. So if you don't have time to like sit and manage, excuse me. Yo, VDAT. It's a surprise seeing me. Bro, I'm not going to lie. The other day I was in the tank. I remember you messaging me. He was like, bro, are you even real? You're not responding to anyone. Because I was like, the chat's over here and I work over here. And so I was like locked in. Wasn't even looking at chat, to be honest. That's funny, VDAT. It's funny. Okay. License key plus release tarball. Your app validates a license key against a small API you host, then downloads a version template tarball. Real licensing control version. I like this. Public open repo. No. Because like if I'm gonna monetize this, the whole goal is to not have your code stolen. And obviously if someone does redistribute it, which they could, I could sue them. Would I? Probably not. I'm not that guy. Although, you know, I say that all the time. It's like, oh, I'm not that kind of guy. Just like, I'm not looking to make people's lives hard or whatever. Oh, it's technically VD at work, but I kind of like why you say VDAT. Sounds like we that. VDAT's like a legit alias name, I feel like. And it's like kind of cool sounding. Yo, what up, VDAT? It's like a hood name. It's like the homies. VD is also cool. Like if you pronounce it right, VD. VD sounds like a grandma's name, actually. I'm calling you VDAT, to be honest. All right, license key plus release tarball. Yeah, because I'm gonna like add new features to it as time goes on. Submit answers. Also, why don't you sign up for Google Cloud Program? Explain to me, what is Google Cloud Program? I use Google Cloud all the time, actually, for a lot of the different projects, like Firebase and stuff like that. Google Cloud Program? Like the developer program? Manage your workflow, access tools, track all your projects in a single dashboard. Like for this? Are you saying this right here? Also, my dogs. I've never had this before. This is absolute fire. This is gas like out of my ass. Dr. Pepper and cream soda. If y'all don't, you might not have that overseas, or they might have it in Israel. I don't know. I'm going to start streaming from tomorrow, maybe building my code base from tomorrow. I'm going to do extensive research today. Bro, do it. If you've ever wanted to start streaming, I feel like I'm a really good example for why to start, because your boy has like 4 people that pull up and we hang out. And I have zero cares in the world, dude. It's not really, I was talking to someone about this earlier. Like, it's not about, like, would it be nice to have like a couple hundred people in here at a time? Yeah, it'd be sick. But I genuinely do not care if I'm sitting here alone for 3 hours. Because, one reason, I'm in here anyways, talking to myself literally out loud. Camera on, camera off, doesn't matter. Number two, I like doing what I do. Like, I like vibe coding. I like coding in general. I liked coding before there was even AI was even a thing. AI in the sense that we know it, like OpenAI and Claude and stuff like that. So I just genuinely like building. Number three, the third reason why you should start streaming is if and when the homies do pull up, you get to meet someone you would have literally never met before. And, you know, have good, meaningful conversations, get a better worldview about things that other folks are talking about in other countries, different shit going on in different people's lives. And you get to do all this while you're doing something that you potentially enjoy and would be doing anyways. So I wish that I could stream like more and longer, to be honest. Whoa. I was just asking a questiones, dude. I don't want you to start doing a whole doc. Although that is that is in your toolchain command, whatever. You're never sitting alone, never God is near. Yeah. If you believe in a higher power like that. For sure. I do believe there's a higher power. I don't know to what capacity. I'm not going to go into religion stuff though. Not that I'm against it. I like to hear all opinions from all different types of walks of life, to be honest. I'm not like the kind of guy who's, what's that term? There's a term where you're like, for people who only like to be fed the information that they want to hear, like confirmation bias or something like that, where it's like you follow certain things on say Instagram or Threads or Twitter, and you only follow the people who agree with you, and anyone who has an opposing statement or opposing opinion, like, you block them, because it's like you only want to see what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. I'm not saying that's wrong either. It's not my personal opinion on why or how I live my life. All I have to say, I appreciate your comment and your comfort. Yeah, now I'm wondering if this is what VDAT was talking about. I guess we'll put it in here. It's not that big of a deal. I can always move it to a new repo if I want. Yes. Okay, we got some questiones in here. Let's move this over here. Make this a little smaller. We don't really need to see all that stuff. All right, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. You could get starting 2K Google credits, almost 350K if your product scales. So apply for it. Don't waste your own money. Get anti-gravity and so many more credits. Yeah, I've heard about this. I want to say that I looked into it like a couple months ago, but you have to like have some legitimate things, and I don't remember what they are, but I remember it wasn't very simple. I actually want to say I applied for one and didn't hear back for something else I was doing, but yeah, I should probably look into that. All right, Soku launcher. Hate the name because this is launch Soku. I could actually just reuse this name. Maybe build Soku or agent Soku, or I don't know. We'll keep the name here for now. Answering your original question, here's what the semi-automated duplication looks like end to end. Tari desktop app, separate repo, sold via license key with a plus project button. The wizard activates the license, downloads the version template tarball, renames everything to the buyer's brand, walks through the service cards, GitHub, Neon, Stripe, Vercel, Railway via their own CLI logins. Resend Sentry Postdoc via deep link and paste with live validation. Auto populates every .env file validated against your existing Zod schemas, which is beautiful. Runs migrations, PnPm dev with health checks, creates GitHub repo, provisions staging plus production, pushes secrets, and watches the clone's own stage and prod YAML. Go green as done. Signal v1 also includes a dev dashboard. All right, I'm gonna go cooksy around. Hey, thanks for pulling up, VDAT, and good suggestions on this stuff earlier. I appreciate it. Load-bearing design move, the rename engine, and machine-readable manifest, Soku manifest.ts, ship inside the template itself. So the desktop app is a thin orchestrator that can't drift from the boilerplate. This repo's gated work is the contract layer. Manifest plus driftgate CI rename engine with CI rename rehearsal. Tari desktop app, separate repo, sold via license key. Did we not just talk about this? Okay, why does it duplicate stuff? I think it duplicates stuff when I make this bigger. The load-bearing S is all the same thing. Jeez. The spec, draft status, structurally compete per PnPm feature doc check. Also surfaces 4 open questions I'd like to read. I like your read on before we go. License entitlements. How many projects per key? I assume 3 activations. Why would you assume that? It's unlimited. 1 unlimited. Don't care. 2, does the agent tooling ship in the tarball? I don't know what tarball means. I've never heard this term before. Am I regarded? What is tarball? Tarball is a single file containing a collection of other files and directories bundled together using tar. Okay, I did not know that. Usually on a Unix-like operating system, it's commonly compressed, e.g. with gzip for software distribution backups. I didn't know this. We're learning things. Tarball. Does the agent tooling but strips.claude, shipping it could be a selling point. Agent ready. No, it's definitely includes this because it's part of, like, the .claude and .agents are a part of the architecture. That's the whole point, is to have the skills and the plugins necessary to run all the apps within all the products within the apps. Technologies. 2. Yes. 3. Product repo name. Soku launcher is a placeholder. I hate it. What do you think, chat? What should we call this? If we end up making this, which is I'm just spitballing right now, of this idea of basically a product launcher harness that's like got all this stuff under the hood, right? Everything that we've built in here comes under the hood in this, and you can create new instances of it in hopefully less than 15 minutes. That'd be a cool claim. Ship production level applications in 15 minutes or less. For reference, for anyone that doesn't know, soku means immediately or immediate in Japanese, which is why I use that. Because I think speed is king with anything that you do, especially nowadays. So it's like launch soku, launch immediately. So what would this be? I still feel like this could be launch soku. I could just rebrand the other one. I mean, this is under the hood. That's what launch soku is. But like for a desktop app that will let you build on top of those, build on top of these projects in parallel, like if you wanted to spin up 2 different versions of launch soku and name them your own thing, obviously, and then build 2 different apps at the same time, or build on the same app in different work trees, you could. So I'm the worst at naming stuff, dude. Maybe agent soku. Agent? I don't like agent. Immediate agent, agent immediately. Excuse me. Ship soku. Build soku. Build immediately. I like build. Let's do build soku. Build immediately. Build? Yeah, build. Let's do build. Where was it? 3. Build soku. For the question is macOS first for distribution. Yes, because that's what I'm on. And I'm gonna have to have some homies help me on the Linux or Microsoft side of things, Windows side of things. Yes. All right. Guys, I can't tell you how good this is. If you haven't tried it, go try it. It's so good. Also, I wonder if my staging version still works. Update required, huh? My subscription has been canceled. At least I know that works. Ooh. I wonder if this still works. Let me go in here because that's actually what I wanted to use. Let's go into YouTube real quick. I wonder if it can pull lives. Let's go into view your channel, and we'll go into live, and maybe I want to say this one was. I want to say this one was good. Yesterday was rough. It was a quiet day yesterday. I'm not gonna lie about it. Let's see if this works. And let's go to X. Select a template. These guys. Let's see if this still works, boys. I haven't touched this in a while. This is what we're gonna be rebuilding, by the way, after I finish all this. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be honest. Also, I hate that error. It might be because I'm not. Yeah, let's do that real quick. It might be because I'm not. Oops. Oh, this is connected to the same billing account. I forgot about that. Anyways, let's go into repurpose, paste this, Twitter. Let's see. We might still get an error. Yeah, okay. I wonder what's going on while this is working. I'm not going to fix this right now, though. Invalid request, transcript unavailable for video, captions unavailable. Okay, well, I'm not going to work on it right now. That's a double side quest. Let's go in here. Yeah. I say this, whatever. Let's just approve it and see what it tells us it's going to do. It'd be sick if it like started a new project and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to. I don't really want it to, actually. I want to like start my own fresh. Yeah, it's gonna do it on this repo. I don't want that. Wait, feature build Soku. What is it? Why does it want to switch to a feature branch when I'm doing it? When it says in here, I'm gonna do it on a different repo. What branch are we on right now? We're on. Stage. Let's just switch, and then hopefully it'll give me another prompt. This side quest will not be completed today, by the way. This is like a side quest and a half. This side quest is of the grandeur that Gandalf went on to kill Balrog of the Deep. Right? That was a whole journey in and of itself, which I'm surprised never had its own spin-off. That would have been a cool. Oh, hopefully the Nightbot runs. Nasty 8 plays. Nasty 8 plays. Oh, Nasty Nate. I was like, what? Hopefully the Nightbot runs, because I set up a Nightbot for this question. Because I get it a couple times. There we go. But today we're going on a side quest though, Nate. Kind of building a harness around this to be able to spin up new instances of these locally in under 15 minutes. So think of you being able to build and launch a production level featureless, like 11 Labs level featureless app in 15 minutes with with marketing, sales pipelines, product analytics, user onboarding, like authentication, billing, token management, database, dev environments, all that stuff in under 15 minutes. Basically what production level shops do. Obviously it's very opinionated. Like it's my preferred stack, which is this. This is what I build. You can build any web app or basically any desktop app on this too now, because you just use Tari. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is basically a web app inside of a native app on like a Mac at least. So yeah, I should probably add that in there. I should change this to building launch Soku and an opinionated enterprise grade SaaS boilerplate that takes the solo founders from 90. Production ready infrastructure and AI tooling to help you ship features and not infrastructure. I should change that to have a couple more adjectives in there. But today, Nasty Nate, I'm kind of thinking about abstracting a level farther out, because right now, as of right now, for someone who wants to use this repository, they would have to like git clone and then fill out all of these environment variables on their own, like all of these on their own, and then like sign up to the services, connect their repositories, connect their projects, all this stuff. So right now I'm thinking about building like a harness around this that's something like this, right? Kind of like, you know, every agent harness out there, but it's different. It's different in that you're not starting from zero, but you'll have projects, right? And you'll create like a new project up here. And when you create a new project, like from here, it'll spawn like this big screen that'll make you sign in and validate your project name, whatever, Vercel, Cloudflare, PostHog, Sentry, Neon, Postgres, Railway, GitHub, all that stuff. And so you'll go from 0 to 90% really, really quickly. And then under the hood, I wish I could like select all of this. Under the hood, it's going to do all of it, yeah. Under the hood, it's like all that infrastructure, right? Obviously very, very opinionated. Like this is my preferred stack, and maybe in the future I'll make different versions with different, you could click new project and select from like 4 different production grade templates, which would be a lot of work. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about it. But that would be sick. You could pick AWS, you could pick so what was I doing? Oh yeah, this. Stamped approved by yours truly, with my 4 answers folded in. Unlimited activations. I just think you build one stack that you like. Yeah, I mean, that's where we're starting for sure. I'm not even entertaining the idea of doing more than one stack. Yeah, true. They probably won't care, because this is probably for beginner. I mean, not probably. This would be for beginner to moderately intermediate vibe coders, but not like software engineers themselves probably wouldn't use this, because like myself, they're also opinionated. I feel like I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Opinionated. Branch and gate. Feature branch created and checked out. So yeah, but this is going to be on a different, nothing's committed yet. The spec plan are sitting on feature build Soku as the working tree fills. When you're ready, say the word and I'll start implementing it task by task. Task 1, manifest schema. Before we get started, I just want to clarify that this will be its own repository and it won't live in the launch Soku repository. It'll be its own project with its own files, and then the launch Soku tarball will live underneath, basically. But I'll need guidance on how to do that, because this is new waters for me. This is new waters. This is new water. Whatever. Yeah, what's your preferred stack, Nasty? I'm calling you Nasty, by the way. You're not Nate. Why do I get the feeling you play basketball? Do you play basketball, Nate? I bet you play basketball. Oh, you play... What is this? I don't even know what game this is. Is this Battlefield? Dude, I remember Battlefield. This is so much fun, dude. I haven't played the new one, though. Oh, it is Battlefield. Are you actually Nasty, dude? Do you schnipe people in the dome? Are you more of a swimmer? Do you dome people, dog? Are we gonna go to? Do you have some shorts in here? I hope. Oh, dude, do you? Let's pause the music real quick, and let's go while this is cooking in the background. Let's go see what Nasty gets into. Yeah, I've been posting BF6. These clips better be goated, dude. Where's the audio? Is there an audio? Where's my... Ah, here it is. Wait, you shot the kid out of the sky? I feel like I've seen this clip before. The cinematic music, dude. A couple whiffs, no worries. Bro, I've wanted to play this so bad. I just haven't. I haven't bought a video game in so long, dude.
No, right here.
Let's go. Let's go. Bro, I love the cinematic music. Gets the people going. Domed. Get wrecked, nerd. Night, night. Let's go, Nate. Sit down. Get beamed. Night, night. Oh, shit it on. Bro, you shitted on him. That's crazy. That's dope, dude. That's dope. You earned my follow. That's dope, dude. Keep posting. That's sick. You send me a good one? Yeah, send it to me. We'll watch it on stream real quick. Hopefully y'all could hear that. Could you hear it? I don't know if you can like hear the audio or not. All right. Okay. Tarball is what you mean by lives underneath. It's never checked into the build Soku repo. When a buyer clicks new project, the app calls your license API. Okay, cool. No, you're a legend. The app calls your license API. Dope. Hosted by your production launch Soku API. Okay, cool. Gets a short-lived download link, pulls the tarball, extracts it into whatever directory the buyer chose. Rename engine, verify commands. Cool. The contract types are one small thing Build Soku needs. Oh, you should, dude. You should, bro. You should totally do some vibe streams. Why not? I have a whole spiel about why you should and why you shouldn't. I spieled about it earlier. Maybe I'll do it again in a minute, but if you've ever wanted to stream any type of content, look at the amount of viewers I have like watching right now and let that be your motivation. Because it does not matter, dude. It doesn't matter who watches or who doesn't. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, which I do. I enjoy this. Building with or without AI. I like software. I've been a software engineer for 7+ years, and I've always wanted to stream. And for whatever reason, I talked myself out of it, like every time. And 27 days ago, I was like, you know what, dude? Who cares? Who cares if there's a dude or 0 people watching? I talk to myself out loud routinely, and I like what I do, so I'm just going to do it in public and meet some homies along the way. I've met some homies in Israel. Seem like super cool lads. I would totally drink a beer with them. Met some homies in India. Super cool lads. Would totally drink a beer with them. And I'm building cool stuff as time goes on. So I'll have to say you should start streaming tomorrow or today. Get off my stream and go start streaming right now. I swear to God. Develop Build Soku against local fixture first. PNPM template pack in launch Soku spits out a tarball on disk. Build Soku gets the dev flag like template tarball fixture TGZ, so you can build and test the whole wizard without a license API even existing yet. Well, I want to build a license API. It's no big deal. I don't mind building the license API off the rip, so everything's working as expected. And the Build Soku repo should be turnkey. If we need to build that first in preparation for Build Soku, I am open to that instead of going full port into Build Soku from here. API endpoint is like super easy. Like that's why would you tell me to do something else? That's the one thing. That's the one thing I'll tell anyone about these LLMs and vibe coding in general, and why you should have your own opinions about almost everything besides maybe like how to write code, is they will always try and pick the easiest path. Like, what's that term? Choosing the path of least resistance or something like that. That they will always try and do that. And so unless you have your own grounded opinions in the way you want to build things, in the technologies you want to use, in the types of components you want to build, server components, or regular whatever. I mean, this is just an example. It's always going to choose the path of least resistance, which is sometimes not the best thing. Understood. That aligns with the build order. Everything on Launch Soku side gets built now. API license included, not deferred. But I do. But when I give, okay, quick question. Okay, but quick question. When Build Soku launches or accesses the license API from within Launch Soku, when users, effectively clone Launch Soku down into their local repository and then rename everything, will they also get the licensing API that we're shipping inside of Launch Soku? Because that's an anti-pattern that we don't want to ship to end users. Obviously. It's basically giving them keys to the kingdom. Am I right? So if you build this template, is there kind of a niche you're focusing on? Not particularly. Not particularly, because just any web app basically. I thought about adding in like a desktop app to it too, but because it's pretty diverse in like the features that you get out of the gate, you could really build anything on top of this. I think the world, or the types of things that you build, will look different in the next 12 to 24 months. And it's going to be a lot about data, a lot about how you access different types of data. And so within Launch Soku, you get, I don't know where it is, but you get an API, a public-facing API that you can add new endpoints to based on whatever it is that you want your users to use. So you could add that API and like have it be called by Claude or something. You also get the MCP, which you can load into Claude. I already have like a working version of it in, it's in Customize, Connectors, Stage.Launch Soku. So there's one tool in here which is Get Account. So I could go in here and like ask it a question about my Launch Soku account, and it would answer me. And that's what users or purchasers or people who download this will get out of the like within 15 minutes, a working MCP, a working CLI, a working API. Then it's just up to them to make whatever their original idea was come to life. So it's not really niche specific, but for solo founders, indie hackers, solopreneurs, where should the licensing API live so it structurally cannot ship in the buyer tarball? Build Soku repo backend. Yeah, we could do that. Wait. We could do that. We could do it. No, well, shoot. This is a good question, actually. Where should the licensing API live so it structurally cannot ship in the buyer tarball? So again, it was suggesting that I add an API endpoint inside of Launch Soku, which is what the users or purchasers or whoever I give this to, whether it's free or otherwise, it would like give it to them. So they have like the licensing API. So they could essentially duplicate that and give it to anyone, which is the most devious anti-pattern. That's what I was saying just a minute ago. It's like it's going to choose the easiest path. It's crazy to me. Separate app here. Stripped whole. Stripped whole? Launch Soku repo, apps web, API, MCP, etc., etc. Ships. Apps licensing is stripped. Own Prisma schema, DB, own railway service. I don't hate that. I don't like that it's in the same one. Is there another option? Can we do option F? Build Soku repo, private, never shipped. I don't mind build Soku because like that's my thing. They'll download this and they don't get access. It's just under the hood. Yeah, so that. Bro, send me if you're still in here, send me that clip you were talking about, like the good. You may have tried to send it, but maybe it was like filtering out links or something. It does that sometimes. Are you just meme building for yourself or future projects? Or are you trying to maybe sell this? The original idea with Launch Soku was to build a production level boilerplate for myself, for my next app that I'm going to build on top of this. And then for any of the homies, the block cleaned it up. Yeah, I didn't even turn that on though. It's so weird. Like I thought I turned like that stuff off. But to answer your question just a minute ago, am I building this for myself or maybe sell it? Before today, well, actually, I don't really have a monetization plan for Launch Soku because as it is right now, I mean, I could give this to you and you could figure out how to start it up and like put in all your API keys and all that stuff. And it would take probably like 5 to 6 hours to get everything up and running. But if I figure out a way to systematize it and make this like a downloadable thing to where your setup time, I say you, but just anyone's setup time is like 15 minutes, I wouldn't be opposed to selling it or something on a subscription, or I don't know, dude. I actually don't know. I want to build, like, this is a side quest, as the title shows. Like, all this stuff that I'm talking about today is a side quest. What I really want to build is the thing that I want to build, which is V1 of this. I already have, like, V0, like the MVP, working. And it's similar to something you've probably seen, like post to X, repost it to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, like a general reposter. But then on top of that, it's going to have like templatized reposting as well. I call it automations. And so like say I post a TikTok, a video talking head like, oh, 5 best ways to monetize your audience with one YouTube video. And I list off the 5 things. It'll then come down here and like do a text version and send it just to Threads, for example. Right, just a text version of that. So it'll strip the transcript from this and then post the same video to Threads, but then X amount of hours later, post like just a text version. Obviously manipulate it a little bit and like cleaned up, not bar for bar, like more punchy. And then it'll also do like a tweet screenshot style. So you can create templates that looks kind of like this, your Twitter handle. This is just mock information. And then in here, it'll add this subheading. It actually adds text in there dynamically based on, again, what you said. So there's more features to it, but that's kind of like the inspo behind it. There's this too, where you can upload a photo into your media library and then set up another automation to where it'll check your media library, whatever photos you haven't used in the past X amount of days. It'll throw a picture and then again populate some text space in there. Also, that was my bike and I miss her dearly. She is no longer with us, unfortunately. I love you, Brittany. Anyways, that's what I want to build. Sorry, I got a little emotional there. It's probably this. Wait. Beamed. Double beamed. With the quick res. Upstairs for cover. Double res. Plinked. Barely survived. Hop a fence, I'll tell my mom. Beamed out of the air. Sit down. Bro, you cleaned up. Was that 4v1? It was 4v, well, sorry. So, 1. Basically 4, 2, 3. Your teammates were not helping you whatsoever, dude. They were kind of brain dead. Yeah, your buddies were basically brain dead that whole game. All right. I think they rezzed one. Oh, okay. The licensing model would have shipped to buyers. Yeah, thank you. Dormant code. Their Prisma schema polluted. Yeah, you're absolutely clapped. The actual secrets get a repo token, signing key, licensing DB never ship regardless their environment variables in your deployment only. So nobody was getting literal kingdom keys, but shipping the sales machinery inside the product is still wrong. Thank you. Thank you for validating me. The fix is structural, not strip rule. Per your choice, the spec now puts the licensing API in build Soku repo as apps license API, its own small TypeScript backend with its own database, deployed separately via Railway. The launch Soku mono repo now contains 0 licensing code, so the tarball can't leak it, even if the pack step had a bug. The build Soku repo becomes the complete product Tari desktop app and the hosted license API, neither of which the buyer ever sees. What changed? This also fits the licensing off the rip. Nice. All right. In the event that I wanted to start building this now, seeing as this spec doc is within the launch Soku repo, we would need to spin up a new repository with its own Git tree, but then contains reference to launch Soku for now, so that we can build effectively and launch V1 without any interruptions. What time is it? Also, I desperately wish that I could stream at like peak times and not in the middle of the night. I think peak time is like 9 Eastern. 10 Eastern, actually, because like people on the West Coast are kind of waking up, maybe watching a little bit. What are you using for speech to text? I've been using Open Whisper recently. Yo, what up, Kenny? Long time no see, big dog. What am I using for speech to text? It's my own little tool that I built. It's called Soku Voice. It's actually really easy. Don't mind the fruitiness, I swear to God. I have to like do a preface to this every time because it's like, I just made it build the UI based on this cool website that I saw, but it made it way too cute. It took me way too literal. I was like, yeah, just model the general style of this website, and it made it look like this. But yeah, this was another side quest. This was another side quest like on day 4 or 5, I want to say, of stream, because I was using Whisperflow, and then I ran out of credits or whatever, ran out of words. It's like a 2,000 minimum, and I was like, you know what? I bet I could build this myself in less than a day. And I think it took 3 hours on stream one day, and then the next day I had a couple bugs, and so I fixed those. But like, it has like this heart right here. It says your dictation BFF. Like, I didn't tell it to do this. Down here it says made with yellow heart. I'm sure there's other like cute things in here too. Yeah, this took like literally 4 hours maybe. And I actually want to, what model am I using? I'm using GGML. What is it called? It's a local model. GGML, base in English. I thought about doing one that had like the 92 or 94 different languages. But I only speak English and Thai, and so it's like, I'm never going to dictate in Thai. This is just like my own personal tool, so I didn't need any crazy model. It was just here? Wait, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Anyways, I'm probably going to open source that one because like, I don't really care. I just need to clean it up a little bit. I need to clean it up, definitely make the styles different. I swear to God. I'm too lazy to change them right now. Cause like this panel actually is never open. You have to click to open it. Even when I click X out of here, it still works. Nothing, it was just a screen you scrolled. Oh, I got it. Sorry, there's a little bit of lag on between the questions and what I say. The cool thing about this, I wish I could show you. I guess I can. Let me try and set up another scene real quick and show you. So you know how Whisperflow has like the little thing like down here, and it like shows you when it's typing, but I feel like it always gets in the way. So I actually put mine up in the top, like the top widget bar or whatever in Mac, and it's like a little S shape. Did you add a different bind for copy pasting previous transcript? It's the function key. I just deleted Whisperflow because I don't use it anymore. But yeah, this is what it's called. I want to change the logo. That was like really quick. But yeah, that's one of the things that I want to do in the repo for this is like add install instructions and then add instructions on how to change this little logo to whatever you want, and then add instructions on how to change the little S thing. The little S thing in the bar. I wish I could show you. I guess I could try and do another scene in OBS. Can I do that? Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Add a source. macOS screen capture. Yo, what up, Evolve? What's good, dog? You think my cam's not coming in? I think the audio of your cam is not coming in. Oh, did it turn off? Can you hear me? Check, check. Okay. I have this condenser microphone, and I think it's best when I speak like right into it. And I was like kind of talking over here just a minute ago. That's probably why it turned off. Yeah. Anyways, that's the app. But but yeah, if you're interested in the source code of Soku Voice, let me know. I have plans to like put it on GitHub and like open source it or whatever. I just haven't done it yet. I'm just lazy. Hasn't been my top priority. A couple of people have asked though. I'm a degen. I haven't done it yet. I am sorry. I apologize. Compound command cd write operations manual approval required. Yes. Yes. Hopefully this is doing it somewhere else. I have a couple of Chrome extensions I'm trying to get out of there also. Like to build yourself? Like to build those Chrome extensions and not pay for them? Is that what you're saying? Oh, get out there. Okay. Yeah. What do they do? It's not a bad idea, dude. Depending on what they do. I've never built a Chrome extension, actually. Oh, like a page summarization? That would not be a bad idea. I have this Obsidian thing in here, but I never use Obsidian, dude. Like, I saw some videos on it, and it was like, Obsidian's the best way to keep memory, like your new brain. I'm like, but I already have a brain, and it works just fine. I don't need a graph to show me everything I know. I don't think. I think I just know what I know. I have a YouTube downloader one, but that goes against TOS. I kind of don't want to associate that with my GitHub. Ooh, maybe pass that to your boy. No, I'm just kidding. That is a good one, though. Does it use YouTube or YTDLP? Is that what it's called? YTDLP, I think. YTDLP dash. Whoa. YT. Yeah. Do you use that or no? I think you're laughing at the obsidian joke I said the other day. Or just a minute ago the other day, dude. I'm so lost right now. Dude, I'm in a different universe. Yeah, just vibe all your own Chrome extensions. I have to wonder what's the real limitations of Chrome extensions, like how crazy can you get with extension design? Yeah, I don't know. I've literally never even tried because I don't have any unique ideas. I think I hardly ever use Chrome extensions. But I don't pay for this anymore. For LastPass. I bet I could build a new version of LastPass pretty easily to where it works on all my devices and all my browsers. Because right now it just works on my browser and not my phone. But I've used LastPass for forever. I just stopped paying for the paid version that lets me use it on my phone too. I wonder where we are with our usage limits right now, actually. I haven't even check skied. I haven't really done much. I've been yapping, and it just created this one doc and has been like figuring stuff out. Now it's gonna start like coding stuff, I guess. Yes. I have been using Fable. Yeah, this is running on Fable right now. I did some moderately complex stuff earlier today when it first dropped, right before I went to the Jimby. And it did it light work, no problem. So I think it's pretty goated, depending. I mean, I haven't done too much on it yet, but I think it's pretty good. Next move, both unblocked. Yeah, but the feature doc and the feature branch is within Launch Soku. This has nothing to do with the Launch Soku repository. Shouldn't this just be moved completely to build Soku? Question mark. What about you? Have you used Fable at all today? I've been working on making a pipeline for asset generation, trying to make icons from different style guides to essentially make batched icons. And I just had it one shot attempted. That's so dope, dude. That's so dope. So that's what Tari does under the hood somewhere. I don't know how it does it, but I thought that was a really cool feature. Tari does something similar to that. Tari is just a framework for desktop applications, but you can give it one 48 by 48 pixel or something like that, 400 by 400, something like that, and then it generates all the other ones based on that, which is dope. But you figured out how to do it on your own, which is sick, super sick, because that's very applicable. Like that could be, I don't know if that could be like, I don't know if you do like AI for business or software for business, or you have your own agency of sorts, but that could be like a lead magnet in and of itself. Like, hey, for any app that you have out there, if you need like all the different types and sizes of icons, use this free tool, and you could get like exposure. How should Build Soku design docs organize across two? I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's this. I'm scared of Fable. Opus was like, sorry, your AI idea is not feasible. But Fable is like, okay, here's a plan that's building your custom AI. I mean, sounds like she's an enabler. Fable sounds like a chick. Opus sounds like a dude. I've been trying to find batch icon creation. You said, yeah, Tari. But it's for the Tari app itself, and so it uses it within the app. Let me see. Let me try and find that repo. New window. Open recent. Soku voice. Let's see. README. That's just my architecture. Tari dev. Tari build. Okay, yeah, but like in here, let's see. Assets? No, where is it? Where are you? Soku voice, source. Where's the icons? Oh, source Tari right here. Icons. Yeah, so all of these were automatically generated. I want to say that I gave it like this one to start or something like that. Or maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think I gave it this one to start. And then it created all of these. And I did that. I can't remember how. Let me ask it because I'm regarded. I guess I don't have to ask it in here. I could just ask it in like this. What's the terminal command in TAURI to run the image icon conversions for the Tari app itself? I guess I could just ask this in Google. Why am I asking ChatGPT? PNPM Tari icon help. It might just be this PNPM run Tari icon. Why can't I remember? Oh no, it's this cargo Tari icon. This is what it was, and then the path to your image. I remember it now. It's this guy right here. So I don't know if Tari is open source. I mean, but if yours is working, dude. Can you just copy it like for 3 seconds? So I just dropped it in chat. Yeah, I just dropped it in chat for you. I remember now it's the command that I used. Yes. You know what sounds really good right now? A hazy IPA. A little IPA at 1 a.m., dude. Sounds so good. Yes. So do I have build Soku locally? New window, open folder, build Soku. I do have it. Did it already do it? No. No. Wait, no, you're... Dude. Dude, get lost. Yeah. I have some good ones, too. I have some good ones downstairs. I'm not gonna do that to myself, though. I worked out pretty hard. Dude, what am I doing? I'm losing it, actually. Open folder. Build Soku. Okay. Let's go. Docs, specs. Well, I need to install. I need to open this guy. Terminal. Zoom out one level. I'm going to do Codex just to install the plugin. Yes, continue. Plugins. Plugs. Plug. Plugins. Superpowers. Oh, it's already in there? I don't see it. Whatever. Clear. Do I have a spec? Plans? Read the spec doc and the plans and proceed. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a great idea, actually. Different variations. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's just different sizes. Tari does just different sizes for different formats. Speaking of variations, the other day I was working on photos. I was like talking with Gemini, trying to like come up with like a cool spec for an R8, an Audi R8. See if I can find it. And I came up with this. Dude, how badass would this be? How dope would it be to have like all the black? In a perfect world, all this would be carbon fiber, but obviously it'd be so expensive. But like kind of two-tone, it makes me think of the Veyron. Bugatti Veyron. Makes you kind of think of like this, where it's like two-tone like that. Those are like kind of like this. Can I see the big version? Right, where it's like black back here and like silver up here. That'd be dope, dude. I was looking at a spec, an R8 spec here in town. I drove it the other day, actually. It was so dope, dude. I drove that. I drove a CO6. And then what else did I drive that was up there? It was a cool McLaren 600 LT, I think it was. I wonder if they still have it. Oh, this is the Audi that I drove. It's just it's so base. Like everything's base. There's no carbon. There's no 20-inch wheels. There's no stitched seating. There's no carbon on the inside. There's no carbon engine bay. And so to get it to look like that photo just a minute ago, it would take so much money. So let's see what else they have. Exotic cars. I don't think they have the McLaren anymore. No, it was kind of like this. I mean, this isn't the 600, but it was kind of like this color. It was like a... Let me see if I can find the photo, actually. I think I took a photo of it. Like all car people are no. I'm a big sports car, supercar fan. I have a lot of dream cars. I want my garage to be full. I say full. I want like 3 or 4 in the future at some point. Where is that McLaren, dude? God, I miss that kid. I think it's on Snapchat. Yeah, it's not on here. It's on Snapchat. Alright, we're on extra high. This thing is going to start ripping through tokens. I know it. And I'm not upgrading tonight. I only have the $100 plan, by the way, for anyone wondering. So this is probably going to... Usage. Yeah, this is definitely going to fill up before 3 hours from now, because this is a lot of stuff going on extra high too. I'm glad I didn't do ultra code, because it would be gone probably by now already. The good thing is, you know what would be sick? Actually, it would be sick if you could create some sort of command that as soon as this resets, no matter what time it is, it continues off where your agent left, like where your agent stalled. Because like, I'm definitely going to hop off stream before 3 hours from now, and I'm going to want to start this, and I'm definitely not setting an alarm. But to like get the max usage like per week, like if I want this thing running 24/7 until like my max is used, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if I could like restart this, not restart, but like continue where it left off as soon as my limits reset. That's an idea. Let me ask it that, actually. It's a good idea. All right, so I have this idea when it comes to either Claude Code usage or Codex usage, and when there's a long-running task and the usage limits, the daily usage limits get used up before the task is complete. Obviously the task pauses and the user, like I have to wait until the usage resets for the day or for the hours, like the 5-hour limits or whatever. And so if I wanted it to start back, like right when the hourly limits reset, I would have to be at my computer or be awake on my phone or whatever. And so if it resets at like, say, 3 a.m. and I'm not awake, what would it take for it to trigger to resume the long-running task as soon as those limits reset? Is there a webhook for that? Can I create a webhook for that? Is there a CLI cron job I could set up? What's the feasibility of this? My finger, dude. Let's see. I should have asked Claude or Codex this. Because I don't want it to use up my Fable stuff. Included until June 22nd. This is what that guy was talking about earlier. Fable is included into your plan. After that, we'll switch to usage credits to continue using. That's annoying. What's your building process? You use AI coding agents, or you use AI just for suggestions and then build it yourself? No, for a lot of the stuff that I build on stream, at least, a lot of stuff that I build on stream, I use AI to code it all. If I code off stream, I'll do it manually. It just depends. But not using an agent for coding is kind of like sending a piece of mail to your friend via USPS and not email or not a text message, which I don't know why you would do that. Okay, feasible. You're not the first one to want it. Okay. There are multiple open feature requests for exactly this. When Claude Code hits the subscription limit, it pauses and you have to manually type continue, which I do all the time. There's no built-in auto-resume yet, and the requests for an auto-resume flag or a rate limit options setting keeps getting filled up and duped. Okay. So no webhook, no native trigger. Anthropic doesn't expose a limit resets event anywhere, but the workaround is genuinely easy because of 2 facts. GitHub. The rate limit message tells you the reset time. Resets at 3 a.m. Claude -- continue and Claude -- resume restores full session context. So dumb external trigger is all you need. Your 3 real options in order of effort. Use an existing tool. There's an open source auto retry npm package that intercepts the Claude command via shell function and monitors for the limit, and auto resume is a shell that detects the usage limits. Oh, interesting. The interactive session is still alive, and this is in tmux, and I don't use tmux or cmux. So it just picks up where it stopped. Add a 5-minute buffer past the reset time. Resets aren't exact to the second. Headless retry loop, what I'd actually build for you, since you're already comfortable with launched from the message agent. The cleanest unattended version is this headless mode with a retry loop. I don't love this. I like this idea. Oh, shoot. How would you do it with an inside this session, though? Because this is in Tmux. There's an open source tool called Claude Auto Retry. Let's open that. There's caveats to what I said also, Abhishek. Obviously, you want to have a preferred workflow of how you do things and like the type of code you like to write and good examples. Let's see. I just don't know why it's telling me to do Tmux. I mean, I do because it explained it up here, but it's like I wish that we didn't have to do that. INB4. This dude's library asks Claude to mine Bitcoin on your Wait, this guy? Or this INB4 guy? That would be crazy if this guy did that. Wonder what the pull requests are. It's not a bad idea though. I just wish that it could be like in here, like native. No, absolutely not. Which is why like I don't want to do this. Like I'm not even considering downloading this. When it's like starting something else on top of my own terminal. I don't like that. I don't know. I just don't like it. And I don't really want to go look at like the package.json. I guess I could. It doesn't have much. Yeah, I guess there's nothing in here, but what is this? Yeah, I think you can. I think that's what this does. Oh, no dependencies. Just install and forget. Oh, okay, well. Maybe I should try this. It's too late now though, right? Because I can't do it while it's started. I don't want to stop this. Maybe I can ask it to pause. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna fill up pretty quick. What is this? What is this beta feature? Claude in Chrome settings. I forgot I set this up. Let's share some of these projects we're making when we're done, eh? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know what you figure out with the content repurposing thing. Peace, dog. I'm about to bounce too, to be honest. I'm not waiting for all this to finish, because it's just gonna keep running until this ends, and I'll wake up tomorrow to the usage stuff and just push continue or whatever. I don't wanna cancel this and then restart it. So yeah, but I'm gonna bounce, fellas. I'm gonna let this cook. It's not my Soku though. It's rename engine plus my Soku cleanup. It's not my Soku. It's okay. Yeah, I'm a bounce, boys. I appreciate y'all hanging out, keeping me company, having good conversations and shit. But yeah, I'm a roll. Try and get some shut eye. Peace, my dogs.